Breaking news as we welcome you back to HQ. I'm Steve Gelbs, and no surprise here. Shohei Ohtani wins the AL MVP, the 19th unanimous first-place finisher for AL MVP, for the MVP award, I should say, since voters started voting BBWAA back in 1931. A two-way sensation, an unbelievable, historic season. You can completely understand why he got the votes that he did.
Ohtani crushes one deep right field goal.
Shohei Ohtani is the first true two-way player to win an MVP award.
Perfectly located heater on the outer half.
Yes, Babe Ruth was a two-way player nearly a century ago. But in the record books, he only has one MVP and didn't pitch the year he won.
Ohtani right center field and gone.
So just how historic was the 2021 season for Ohtani? He slugged 46 home runs.
Oh, got it!
Setting the single-season record for most home runs ever hit by a Japanese player. Ohtani also became the first player in American League history to hit 45 home runs, score 100 runs, and steal 25 bases.
Safe at third base is Ohtani.
His wins above replacement was 9, more than a full point higher than the next closest player. He also had 100 RBI and was intentionally walked 20 times, the most by an American League player since Mike Trout in 2018. On the mound, Ohtani was sharp, finishing the year with a 9-2 record, and his 3.18 ERA was among the lowest in the AL. Ohtani also stole the show at the All-Star game, becoming the first player in history to be selected as a hitter and a pitcher.
He got him swinging. 3 strikeouts for Shohei Ohtani.
In any other year, Vlad Guerrero Jr. would have been a clear-cut and deserving MVP. But in 2021, Ohtani had a season we haven't seen before and may never see again.
And we now bring on Matt Snyder. And Matt, I see that and I say to myself, maybe they got it wrong. I don't know. I don't know if he was the guy. Listen, we have not seen anything like this before. Who knows when we're going to see another season quite like the one that he put up. As you look at the year that Ohtani put together, how would you put into context what he was able to do?
I think it's something that we're going to be talking about for the rest of our lives. Anytime we get into awards season, it's going to be the 2021 season by Shohei Ohtani, because to hit 46 bombs, and by the way, to steal over 25 bases while you're doing that is unbelievable enough on its own. But then you add in the 9-2 record, the 3.18 ERA, and the more than a strikeout per inning. He pitched like an all-star and he hit like an MVP, and he also stole over 25 bases. That's as good of an all-around season as it's possible. That's like a video game type season. If you created a guy in a video game who could be a stud hitter and pitcher and base runner, what we saw in 2021 from Ohtani was exactly that. It's kind of any superlative you can throw at him, and it's kind of beyond my comprehension at this point to see just how good he was every which possible way.
Yeah, it's very difficult to back it up simply with the numbers, although he's the first player in ALNL history with at least 45 home runs, 25 stolen bases, and 5 triples in a season. Add that to what he did as a pitcher. It's just remarkable. There are so many ways to go with him when you look at what stands out. Is there one aspect to you that is above the rest, that impresses you more than anything else?
Yeah, I think it's the power. I mean, he's a very, very good pitcher. I love him on the bases, but he drops absolute bombs. I mean, no doubters, absolute no doubters. So it's got to be, I think, the raw power tool. But, I mean, he's so good at everything. Even if he played defense, he would be good at defense. He's just one of God's greatest creations on a baseball field. It'll be fun to see how much longer he can do this. Before last year, I thought, at some point they're probably just going to have to say, we're going to make you a right fielder or something. But then he went out and he stayed healthy pitching the entire time. The workload, 130 innings, he's not going to be like a 200 inning pitcher because he can't. He's batting every day. He's not pitching. His body can't handle that. But to have him hold up all year, both in the lineup and in the rotation, it's beyond words.
It's not often that a player comes with such high expectations and somehow exceeds them. And that's what it felt like Ohtani did this year. As you look at all the hoopla that came with him coming over and all the stories, the legend, the way that it grew when he was in Japan for years and years and years, just what did it take for him to be able to live up to that type of hype?
Well, he had to adjust to a new country, a new culture, being away from home. Then he had the arm problems. We had to go through the Tommy John surgery. So it took a while. This was his 4th year, but everything just clicked. I mean, he's hit the entire time. It was just getting his arm healthy and being able to pitch. And the Angels figured out just once a week was going to be plenty, maybe push him back a few times just to make sure he could get to the end of the season. But I think this was the perfect storm coming off the pandemic season. Fully healthy, coming off the Tommy John surgery. This was just, everything fell right into place, and it was just right. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he could probably do something pretty similar next year too.
Yeah, I don't think you're going out too far on a limb there,
No.
Matt Snyder. Now for the Angels, the key is just finding a way with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani to actually win. That has been the missing piece here for that franchise, but it looks like already with the offseason moves signing Noah Syndergaard that they are going all in heading into next year. Matt Snyder, thanks so much for the insight. Once again, Shohei Ohtani, I mean, how do you put it into words, the type of year that he had? First player in Major League history with 150 strikeouts and 45 home runs in a single season. One of 5 players in Major League history with 45-plus home runs, 25 or more stolen bases, 100 or more RBIs in a single year. Shohei Ohtani, your runaway pick, unanimous pick for AL MVP.